Buongiorno, buonasera, benvenuti amici, welcome my friends, and Happy New Year, buon anno a tutti, yes, Happy New Year. This is my channel and it's Fountain Pen Therapy, and welcome to the first weekly recap of January 5th, 2025. We're going to start the new year with a big bang, hopefully. We've got some novelties that are going to come up. My recap's going to take a little bit of a twist. You know, we're trying to improve it at all times. I've already indicated to you, for those of you who watched my 2024 retrospective, that I'm still thinking about doing this live. Maybe not every, let me just work out here, maybe not every week because it's a lot of work. I just don't like the uncertainty and the fact that I don't have control over the feed of a live feed, and that just takes away all the fountain pen therapy. But having said that, you viewers, let me know, weigh in on it. And I know I asked the same question last year. The majority said, you know what, we like to view it not live. There's a lot of wasted time, etc., etc., etc. So look, weigh in, let me know, and we'll take it from there. No promises, but certainly I'd like to know what your point of view is. So, you know, we're going to kind of divide the weekly recap a little bit differently because I found myself kind of switching formats and subjects every week, depending on what's new and what's not new. It's very unpredictable because it does deal with the week, as opposed to something that you know is coming. You have no idea what's coming. So what we're going to take a look at, first of all, is what's new. What's new in the market? Secondly, what's new in the fountain pen therapy studios as well. So this essentially we're going to be and dividing things up in that way. So why don't, without any further ado, why don't we start this recap, as I said, with a bang. Okay, so 2025, well, Chinese pen market. I'd like to start with that, if you will. And for those of you who managed to take a look at my news flash, yes, Asvine pens as really started the new year with a real bang. And of course, it's that new C2000 stable wood offering that Asvine has chosen to go with. So let's we'll take a look at exactly what the offering is in a second. But having said that, I'd like to share with you some of the things that that concern me over this stable wood. And I know it looks like it may be a trend. We'll talk about the titanium pen trend in a second, but it looks like wood pens are also trending a little bit anyway. But let me remind you what happened early in 2024, if you will. So let's go over to my overhead camera. You'll recall this was the Dieman N24. What a beautiful pen. In retrospect, when you take a look at this pen, very well done. I mean, it's a little bit elaborate, and yes, some people can say it's over the top. It had just a gorgeous nib, really, really nice pen. But the problem with this right off the bat was that cap cracked. And it took 2 tries, or 3 tries, in fact. Where's the crack on this one? Oh, here it is. In fact, while I was reviewing the pen, a viewer noticed the crack on the cap that I had not noticed. And yes, and I had to kind of print a like an amendment, etc., etc., publish an amendment. But there you have it. That was the first pen I got, cracked on its own. It did not come in cracked. It cracked subsequently. I then asked Etsy to replace it. They replaced it with this one. And there you have it. Another crack appeared soon thereafter. And then several weeks later, I received this third one. And this third one looks like they really had it going. I've not used it, but I don't see any cracks on this one. And it's been stable, excuse the pun, ever since. So that was the experiment that Hong Dieman had with stable pens or stable wood pens right off the bat. And it's too bad because he kind of spoiled this Year of the Dragon N24. But Hong Dieman also had another stable wood pen, which is this one, which is the N7. And I understand it was quickly out of stock. New stock has come in. Take a look at the pictures that I'm posting right now. Shanghai Dude has also stated that they kind of did something to the pen. Look at what the problem I had with it was that it spinned on me. Everything was unglued, as you could see, and it didn't stay on. Something was definitely wrong here, and it probably nothing to do with the wood, but just with stable wood pens. For some reason, I didn't have great luck with Hong Dieman. It's otherwise a very nice pen. I don't see any cracks on it anywhere. Very well finished. And now new offerings are out, but I understand that from Shanghai Dude, and I will put on the some reference to it. Whatever was wrong with that glue or whatever was wrong with that section has been repaired. So there you have it. Now, having said that, it looks like even Jinhao is in the mix. So as you can see on the screen, I have the new Jinhao offering, the Jinhao 58. Looks like a fun pen to have. Very cheap, under $10. I've hesitated. I have not ordered that pen. One of the main reasons is that I don't like that nib that kind of mimics or imitates the Lamy Safari nib. It only comes in fine or actually extra fine. I hate that nib. That nib for me is a no-go. Otherwise, the pens would be kind of interesting. They're maybe, student pens, if you will. Nothing elaborate, but looks like Jinhao's in the mix. I saw this additional offering, which is described as hand-lacquered premium wood fountain pen with a long knife, all kinds of long knife nibs offerings. These look like gorgeous pens, but folks, the price is over $200. I think $250, $260, which for me right now I'm hesitating. I'm going to let these stable wood pens kind of get on the market and see where that takes us. But all of that as a lead-in to what I think is the main headline, which is Asvine. And Asvine has good products. I've not had an Asvine pen that's gone wrong on me, if you will. Every single pen they have put out has proven to be a real success. Their nibs are great. Their models are great. They take great pride in their filling systems. But one thing that was missing was the size of the nibs were limited to those, to the number 6. And now here we have it, the Asvine C2000, folks. So there you see it. You have, first of all, that's the red, in red, beautiful, a pen. I mean, that's in red. Now we have it in the green. As you can see here, there's the green. And after that, the third color, which is kind of this yellowish gold color. So there you have it, the 3 colors. What's also very, very nice about all this is that finally, and I believe, unless mistaken, unless I've forgotten something, they finally put out their first number 8 size nib. Here it is. This is a close-up on the nib. And we also got a close-up of the feed. Looks like a beautiful big feed. I'm not sure if that's, it looks plasticky, but I'm not sure if that's actually ebonite. It may be. We shall see. And by the way, I've ordered all 3 of them. So I hope to be able to get all those 3 soon. As soon as I do, they will be up for review. I've ordered the red, the green, the yellow, and I've ordered them in different nibs. I've avoided the extra fine, which is just not my taste for the time being. Remember that in 2024, I hated fine nibs, so maybe we will evolve. Stay tuned for that. But right now I've ordered the fine, the medium, and yes, they've got a 1.1 stub. One of the major criticisms of these Chinese pens were that they did not offer anything beyond fine and medium or extra fine. Well, we have Mahjong who offers 1.1 nibs, and now we have Asvine in their number 8 size offer 1.1 stubs. I'm really looking forward to being able to use all 3 and review them for you as soon as we receive them. So there you have it. That is the headline, folks, for 2025. And let's look at what else is trending in Chinese pens. Well, folks, I hate to repeat it, but not only Chinese, as a matter of fact, titanium nibs are really, in the foreground. Let me go to my overhead camera. And of course, we saw the Asvine J16, beautiful, just a gorgeous, gorgeous pen with a Yowo nib. This is just a gorgeous pen. I reviewed it. Here's the thumbnail of my review. We also had Mahjong come out with this TI Titanium 136. You see a picture here of the 3 offerings that they offer this pen in kind of a matte finish, shiny finish, and in that hammered finish. That hammered finish really entices me, but the price is just not in my range for the time being. But there you have it. It's a beautiful, beautiful pen. Writes really nice. I've got it with this lemon pen. And I realized that in 2024, I had forgotten to publish my review of this pen. Here's the thumbnail for that review, so stay tuned. In early 2025, I will review this pen in greater detail. But I have a third pen, and it's in this box, and it's a mysterious Chinese offering. It is a giant, and you know what? I've reviewed it. Stay tuned. I will be publishing the review of that mystery pen, another one, sometime very soon. So there you have it. That is. Then of course we've got the Mahjong TI 200. Here it is in both colors there. You see titanium. So that's another one that's really popular. We also have the Junlai 900, a big number 9 nib. It just costs over $800. It's not in my price range from now. It's kind of a king of pen titanium pen, but there you have it for those of you who think it may be worth that money. Right now, I'm not diving into that one, but it's there. And then, of course, you've got the Lemon M1S, which is maybe something I might be adding to my collection sometime very soon. But of course, Chinese pens are not the only ones. We have the Navlor 365 Anniversary Implongeur Titanium Limited Edition at $292. Here it is, folks. It looks like it's out of stock everywhere. I'm not sure whether there will be replenishing the inventory there, but that's another very popular pen. It went quickly, very quickly. And then we've got the new 54 offering from Gravitas and Pen Venture. Here are some of the new titanium pens. expensive, but nonetheless, you can see the titanium. Actually, with Gravitas, titanium was always in the foreground, but they've kind of put on the accent there. They've developed a new pen that looks like a hell of a lot like the another pen that we know, maybe a Conid and a Kusari, but there you have it. So titanium looks like is in the mix, folks, and I've repeated that, but it's there. And this is just a sampling. And if you go on AliExpress, you've got all kinds of titanium pens. You've got this pocket pen. Take a look at this one. Pocket pen, it's just very, very, very popular. So take a look at AliExpress if you like titanium pens and want to buy Chinese titanium pen. You'll have plenty there to go to quench your thirst, as they say. What else have we got on the Chinese pen front? Well, we've got the Lemon M7 that is out. It looks suspiciously like a Mont Blanc inspiration, another one from Lemon. We saw the Lemon M6. Now we have the Lemon M7. There it is. I'm not sure I'm going to order this one, but if I do, you will be the first one to know. I also looked at this Majon V60. I know some people hate this pen and others love it. I just love this pen. In fact, it's inspired me to go on a hunt for the real thing. As soon as I get my hands on one, of course, I will share that with you. But I've ordered this new transparent Majon V60. You can see it comes in 3 colors. And there you have it. And I'm trying to get it in the 1.1 stub. And we'll take a look at the 1.1 stub in just a few minutes. So there you have it. And then we have this new Wingsung Princeling P146, which looks suspiciously like a 146 Mont Blanc. I don't know what it is with Wingsung. This is the second time they've been inspired by Mont Blanc. Here again, I'm not sure whether I'm going to take the dive and order that pen. I can tell you that the other one that I bought, Wingsung, which was the Ferrari dedication Mont Blanc inspired fake, if you will, really writes nicely. It writes just outstanding. The nib is great, but again, very controversial. I'm not sure I'm going to be going for that. What intrigues me is this Wingsung. And the spelling of Wingsung, where one word, is this another company? Is this the same Wingsung that we're used to? I don't know. I really don't know, but there you have it. That's at least what appears on the website of AliExpress. So that's pens. So what's new that I have to mention in inks? Well, I think we've got 2 major players right now that are really in the forefront. And that's, first of all, we got the 3 new Pilot Irijosuko inks, which, by the way, we're in the process of ordering. Some of them are out of stock. I'm trying to get them all from one retailer so that I get them all at once. And I'll let you know as soon as I get them. We'll do maybe just a video review of those 3 new inks sometime very soon. And then I've got the Dieman 160 anniversary inks, and we'll take a look at those in a second. But I've gotten the whole collection, and but that's new, and I think something worthy of mention. That's it for what's new in the market. So, folks, stay tuned. We'll do part 2. Let's take a look at what's new in the Fountain Pen Therapy studios. What's next? Well, next is I'd like to show you what Fountain Pen Therapy Studio has in store for you with regard to pens. So let's get into that right away. First of all, pen hauls. Well, during the holidays and right before, several pens have come in and I prepared some reviews. So first of all, you're going to get the new year. The first pen I will review in 2025, and we're going to start things off with a bang, is another beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Grail pen. Here's the thumbnail, but I've hidden from you most of the information. It's going to be a stunner, folks. It's going to be a stunner. So I have a Grail pen for you right off the bat. I have also, here's a thumbnail, and again, I'm hiding the pen, my first Montegrappa pen. People have said, well, you know, you have the top Italian pens. What happened to Montegrappa? They're right. I've kind of stayed away from Montegrappa. Some of them, you know, the Grail pens that interest me are thousands of dollars, and I could not afford them. But I found it a very nice pen at a reasonably priced offering in terms of Montegrappa, and not a low-end Montegrappa. So there you have it. It's going to be my first Montegrappa pen that will be reviewed in 2025. I've got a mystery Chinese pen that I'd like to share with you as well. Here's the thumbnail, hiding the pen, of course. And I've got another pen from a new contender, because I've seen several offerings from this new company. I think he's new. In any event, it's certainly new in my collection. Again, I'm hiding the pen, but stay tuned for those 4 videos, which will be published in the days and weeks to come. What else have I got new in my studios? Well, let me go to my overhead camera. I'd like to show you and share with you my Sailor pen collection right now of the best pens in that collection. I'm not showing you any of the lower end. Of course, we have my 911. We have the Sailor King of Pens, which I showed you recently and which I reviewed. But this is the pen that I received in the meantime that I've not reviewed and that I don't think I will review. In all honesty, I think you've seen reviews of this Pro Gear. It's the Pro Gear regular sized Sailor. There's many reviews, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to be reviewing this pen and maybe comparing it to other Chinese pens. But I thought I'd give you a taste of what it looks like in my hands, if you will. So we'll do a writing sample of this beautiful pen. So this is the Sailor Pro Gear, and it's the, you know, the regular bigger size, if you will, not the slim. And it's the nib is a fine nib, just, you know, with that typical Sailor feedback. So there you have it. So now we have the Pro Gear in a fine. I've got my 911. This is the Sailor 911, and the nib in this one is an HB nib, hard broad, just very Sailor smooth. So you can see you've got some variety in the line, variation there, giving me fountain pen therapy. And then of course I've got my beautiful, just a beautiful Grail here, the Sailor King of Pens. And the nib on this one is a medium. This is the one that really shows off that chalky feedback of all of them. Very hard to describe, very unique, probably the most unique sound that comes out of that Sailor offering is the King of Pen. So there you have it. I've kind of completed. I'm hesitating as to whether or not I should add the slim. Maybe I will add a slim, and I'm not going to add it in those fancy colors. I think I like that black and gold trimming just to complete that collection. But I thought I share that with you as well. Now, during the Christmas holidays, Fountain Pen Studios, or maybe Vincenzo, received more. Of course, I want to show off my Fountain Pen Therapy mug. that I got this for Christmas. But in addition to that, one of my sons, well, actually, yeah, one of them, and I'm just going to go over to my overhead camera, surprised me with a pen that he had heard I did not have in my collection, and now I do. And a lot of you have asked, what happened? Platinum, it did not form part of my lists of the in any reviews where I've looked at Japanese pens. Well, I finally got my 3776. Yes, folks, my son made me very, very happy camper. So here it is, beautiful, by the way. I like his choice of not color. It's kind of a transparent, this beautiful red, darkish red with this gold trimming, with that beautiful gold nib. Let me just get my notebook, and maybe we'll share just a quick writing sample here. Close up. Here we go. Beautiful, by the way. That's it. Just a gorgeous nib. Now I can understand why everybody was raving about why I did not include. And look at that. It caps just beautifully. Again, I'm not sure I'm going to be doing a separate review of this pen, given that it's been around for so long, but maybe included in a comparison of all of my Japanese pens. So this is the Platinum. Is it Century 3? I think that's the way they refer to it. 3776. The nib is a fine. Just beautiful, beautiful pen. So folks, no excuses now. I've got it in my collection. I don't know what took me so long. By the way, it's not a fine, it's a medium. It writes like a fine, just because I think Platinum is known to have, typical Japanese nib, kind of a finer, but it is a medium nib, but just gorgeous. I think the next in my collection, if my sons are listening, it would be the Platinum President, and kind of round out that Platinum line for me, at least in terms of their more expensive line. So there you have it. Nice Christmas gift, wasn't it? Yeah, absolutely. We've got the 3776 now. So I've showed off my Sailor acquisition. I showed off my Platinum. What else did I want to show you? Oh, yes. I wanted to show you, I decided, against better judgment, some may say, to add another Vajon V60 to my collection. First of all, I've added one with a silver trim, and I've added the red. I have the yellow, I add the black. I don't have the white, but I thought I'd add this red. And I ordered it with a 1.1 stub. And I wanted to share this with you. Again, I think this is a fabulous pen. So this is the Vajon V60 red, and the nib is the Vajon or Moonman 1.1 stub. I think this stub is absolutely really, really nice. To the point that I think that from now on, if this stub is available in any of the Vajon pens, I will be seeking out this one, the offering in this nib. And speaking of Vajon V60, again, I remind you that Vajon's got those three transparent brand new offerings. For some of you who might want to look at how that internal mechanism works, I think that's an interesting offer to look at. Next, One more, just pen acquisition that I've omitted to mention was, here, let me just cut. You remember, this is the CA 35 or 351 from Dieman. I had reviewed one that had a kind of a red barrel, and because this blue one was which was originally my choice, was stuck in the Canada Post strike, but I since received it. Again, beautiful, just a beautiful pen. So this is the review of the red one has already gone up, so there's no point in just reviewing the same pen with a different color. So this is the Dieman CA 35 in the blue barrel finish with this Dieman fine nib. Gee whiz, I just wish Dieman would do a medium nib. That would be fabulous. Add some variety to my collection. But I thought I'd share this pen as well. So for those of you who are curious as to what the blue looked like, well, here it is. Very nice, as compared to of course, the original. This is the CA WA 35, if you will, and this is the red one that we reviewed, and you'll see the thumbnail of my review. So that's the red, the blue, and that's the WA 35. Beautiful Dieman pens, I think worthy of my collection. There you have it. So that ends that. So we will. Okay, so what's new in the fountain pen therapy studios? Well, in terms of, let's start with paper. With paper, what I've done is you're going to be viewing sometime very soon. I've taken time during the holidays to prepare, first of all, my part 3 of my comprehensive guide of fountain pen friendly paper. You see, I have published over the years part 1, part 2, reviewed kind of dozens, if not hundreds, of fountain pen friendly paper products. And I have my part 3 that will be published sometime very soon in the new year. Here's a thumbnail, and I've added another 60 products for your review and enjoyment. So now you've got, quite a bit of a listing of all kinds of fountain pen friendly paper that you can take a look at, investigate, etc., etc. So stay tuned for that one. And I've also going to be publishing, some of you have asked, well, what have you got planned for 2025? I want to share with you my fountain pen journal and notebook setup, both personal, fountain pen related, and office related. So we'll be doing a review on my fountain pen setup, fountain pen journal and notebook setup for 2025. Here's the thumbnail, and we'll be publishing that sometime very, very soon. So that's what's new in terms of paper in my studios. Now, what's new in terms of inks? Well, you took a look already. Look at my, I mentioned to you my Dieman 160 anniversary collection. Well, here it is. Here are the 5 offerings. We will be doing a series, a review on all 5, detailed review on all of them, but for the time being, here they are. They're all sitting there waiting for my review. I wanted to show you, just to share with you the bottle. I think the bottle is absolutely gorgeous, which, is huge. It's a 75 milliliter, very nice. I think worthy of an anniversary kind of a dedication there. So there you have it, celebrating 160 years of Dieman. I didn't realize they were in business for that long, but I thought I'd show you that. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous set there. What else have I got for you? Well, there will be a review of the Dieman inks. I've ordered all of them, finally got them all, and did a comprehensive review with swatching, etc., of all of those inks. Here's the thumbnail of the YouTube video. It should be going up sometime soon, so stay tuned for that. I have my 2024 collection from Van Dieman's. Here is a thumbnail of that. It's stuck in Post Canada warehouse somewhere. With our strike, Post Canada is way behind, and I guess it's not a priority to deliver my inks. So they're somewhere. They came from Australia. I had ordered them way back when. It's been more than a month now, but hopefully I will be receiving that shipment sometime very, very soon. But what have I got in my studios for you today? Well, I've got 3 inks that I'd like to swatch for you. And also at the same time, we'll do some writing with those inks in 3 pens that I've resurrected for you. So there you have it. Why don't we go to my overhead camera and we'll have some fun with some ink swatching of 3, what I find 3 very beautiful inks. Now, before we're going to get into the ink swatching, I wanted to make sure, because I'm sure my sons will say, well, wait a minute, you mentioned the pen that you got from one of your sons. What about the stuff you got from the other sons? So you got to be careful, right? I had 3 of them. I'm not going to mention names. You saw my fountain pen therapy cup. That was a Christmas gift as well. But just for those of you, I don't know. I'm not sure if this, I showed this before, or we'll show it in the next scene of this review. But in any event, this is the fountain pen therapy cup that I received for Christmas. That was very nice. And the 3 inks we're reviewing, I also received for Christmas. So we'll get to that in a second from the second of my 3 sons. And the next gift is this one here, which is a kind of a box. I have several of these, and I guess they know that I keep running out. So this is just a beautiful pen case, and not expensive, folks. I think it's like $50 on Amazon. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then we got drawers that come out. So you've got 36 pens. That it's made out of wood. Very wide, by the way. It can accommodate very big pens and very wide pens. So you don't have a pen, any pens with some girth fit in there really nicely. There you have it. Very, very nice. So I thought I'd share that with you. So that's another gift for Christmas that I received. And we'll put that up there. And the third one, well, here, let's go to my overhead camera again. Okay, so you have it. These are 2 inks that I did not have in my collection, both from Iro Shizuku, the Kujaku Blue and the Yamabudo. I mean, I have all kinds of inks. I have over 300 bottles, and I did not have Yamabudo. And let me tell you, I'm looking forward to swatching that to see what kind of results we get with that ink. And then they got me this Fountain Pen Day 2024 Colorverse. Here's the ink. Nice bottle. It's a kind of Fountain Pen Day exclusive. Along with that, it came these bookmarks, kind of stickers, and they also got me a hat. So you know what? For next Fountain Pen Day celebrations, I'm going to make sure I wear my orange Fountain Pen Day hat. So there you have it. And at the same time, it supports the cause. It's a beautiful cause in our community. So there you have it. So we're going to put that aside, and we're going to do some swatching of these 3 inks. Okay, this is the new way I'm going to do swatching, quicker and easier. Doing it on 3 different types of paper is long and tedious, but I have this ink journal in different colors from Good Impressions that I've been trying to convince you to get if you're going to do any swatching. This is my blue, so we're going to take the 2 blue inks that we have, and we're going to be swatching them into this journal. So we'll start off with Kujaku from Iro Shizuku. Beautiful bottles as usual. Okay. And what I love about these inks is they're not shimmering inks, which I think I'm going to stay away from for a while anyway. We shall see how long that lasts. with my trusty folded pen. Wow, that is just a beautiful blue. Very, very nice. Yeah. I think I'm going to enjoy that ink, boy. Oof. Isn't that interesting? So this is the Eero. Wow. The name again, Kujaku. And I received this in December of 2024. Wow, that is really, really nice. And of course, I'm going to be swatching these inks. Not swatching, I'm going to be inking 3 pens, one with each ink, and give you some writing samples at the end of the swatching session. The next one is this Colorverse Fountain Pen Day exclusive in blue. Let's just see what this gives us. Very vibrant royal blue, I would say to you. Very different from the previous one, but nonetheless, very, very nice. So this is the Colorverse. '24 Fountain Pen Day that I also received in December of 2024. Okay, so that's that. Good. So those are the 2 blue inks. I'm going to put this swatching book or journal on the side, let this ink dry. We will pull out my red journal for my red ink, which is that Hiroshisuku Yamabudo. Oh, my finger's a little wet. Okay, so I got the red here. And we'll take out this ink. Okay, so I'm looking forward to this one. Holy God. Isn't that a beautiful, beautiful kind of a purple-red tint? Very, very nice. Sharp. And I understand that when this dries up, it kind of changes slightly the allure. So this is the Eero. Wow. Can never spell these names. Yamabudo. I can tell right away lots of nice fun shading from dark to light. December 2024 is when I received this ink. So there you have the 3 inks. We'll come back with let them all dry up, take a closer look at all 3, and then we'll do a writing sample with an actual fountain pen to see how the inks translate onto paper. Be right back. So let's take a closer look at these inks. There you have it. Look at this one's taking a hard time, giving a hard time to dry up, and I didn't want to delay things, but you can definitely see the shading. It's kind of it's a lot darker in real life than it is. Just the lighting is a bit too bright, but that gives you a nice overview of that ink. Really, really nice. I'm glad I got this ink. It's a little more reddish in real life than it is purple. So that's the Yamabudo. The two blue inks, again, taking some time to dry up, but they're almost all dry. I love this Kujaku. It's kind of a little more teal than what appears on the camera, at least from what I see. It's a lot more teal, more like this one, and you can definitely see some of the red sheen in that swatch, and also some of the shading from dark to light. And the Colorverse does have some red sheen in it. So there you have it. Those are the three inks that I propose for this recap. Beautiful inks. If you're looking to get some tealish gray sort of an ink, a royal blue or a purplish red, great choices. We'll do some swatching. Actually, we'll do some sampling with actual pens and see what that gives. Okay, so we're back for the writing samples for these three inks. First of all, the pens that I will be inking are three same models, different nibs perhaps, and we'll take a look at the nibs in a second. These are Bexley, and I can never pronounce it, Prometheus collection. I have about 5 or 6 of them. So we're going to do the Yamabudo with this one. We're going to do the Kujaku in this one, and the Colorverse Fountain Pen Day ink in this third one. And I believe some of them may have different nibs other than the Bexley inks, nibs, but we'll take a look at each one as we go along. So first of all, this is a Bexley broad nib, juicy, beautiful nibs, by the way. So this is the Bexley Prometheus. Gray-blue barrel, if you will. The nib is a Bexley number 6 steel broad nib. Wow, really nice ink. The ink is the Kujaku from Iro Shizuku. Very nice. So that's Kujaku. Okay, let me just push those ink bottles on the side. Next one will be and this one has, again, a Bexley nib. So this is Bexley Prometheus. And this is the orange blue swirl. The nib is a Bexley number 6 steel, again a broad nib. This reflects my tastes in the old days where I would only order broad and stubs ink, and I regret not buying different nibs, you know, but we evolve, right? This is Colorverse 2024 Fountain Pen Day. Again, beautiful inks. don't see the shimmering, but you do get a sense of some of the shading, although there is some slight sheen that is not visible perhaps, but we'll take a closer look on camera, but is in real life, so to speak. But the third ink is, yeah, okay, so I thought I had some stubs on these pens, but I don't. They're all Bexley, which is good. They're nice and thick. Wow, I really love this Yamabudo that everybody raves about, and that I realized I did not have in my collection. I thought I did, but I didn't. Bexley number 6. Ink. Very nice. Very nice. And I don't know, see if the camera can pick this up, but you can definitely, you could see some of the red sheen, but the camera's not picking it up. You could see some of the shading in that. The colorverse is pretty straight up. It's a kind of a royal blue. Don't see anything there in terms of either sheen or shading. The Bexley, the Yamabudo is definitely, the more it dries up, the more you get to see at least the shading from light to dark. So those are the 3 writing samples with my 3 Bexley pens that I've resurrected and which will probably be used during the week. So there you have it. Next, well, what I'd like to share with you, and I mentioned it in perhaps in some of my reviews during the holidays, I'm not sure, but I have a very interesting nib swap to propose for you. I'm going to set it up. The studio's going to set up, and we're going to get into that in a second. Hopefully you'll appreciate this. Stay tuned. Okay, so here's the nib swap that I wanted to mention. First one, this is the Shaq MD nib swap. You can take a look at his video. He went through it in detail as well. Essentially what he proposed was that we take a Pelican M800 nib and swap that nib into this Majon TI 136E. He swaps it in the more expensive version, which is that hammered version, which is an inspiration of a Mont Blanc pen as well. But I don't have the hammered version, so we'll take a look at this one here. I was fortunate enough, that's why we have to keep hunting. I found this 18 karat gold. Yes, it's in the silver finish as opposed to the gold finish or the dual toned on Giardino Italiano under nibs in their section of Pelican. This thing was selling for 145 euros, which is roughly $150 US. Normally a nib like this would go over over $250 for sure. And I did not own an M800, a Pelican M800. I'm still in the hunt for one. And I thought that this, was as close as I would come to. So what he proposes is, first of all, you take that nib, and it's very simple to remove. You just remove it from its little capsule. So there's your nib and your feed. And he then says, Godon Flexible Nib Factory. I will put all this in my description. And you can purchase actually a Bach section that accommodates that Pelican feed and nib. You see the two notches. That's what's unique about it. The two notches are in here as well. You see the notch there on the side. This one has the notch as well. So what you do is you line up your nib. Sorry for the shaky hands. You could see that on the, one second, on the feed, you have that little knob there. See that? So that's got to go into the slit in the section. So there you go, and it fits in beautifully. So now you've got a Pelican nib and feed in a box section that you could add to any pen that accommodates a Bach nib, which includes this one. And this TI 136, I've got a lemon nib there for now. So I just have to remove the nib. It has O-rings. There you can see, you can probably add those O-rings to this new one, but just for the sake of expediency, I wanted to show you. So now you could simply swap there you have it. So now I can enjoy an M800 nib. By the way, that's a broad nib in this TI 136. Isn't that fabulous? There you go. That's Shaq MD's a review of Shaq MD's suggestion. But I think I have another one, and maybe even less expensive and simpler, and probably one that satisfies my curiosity a little more. So I said to myself, well, wait a minute now. I do own an Admach M800, which is supposed to be kind of a replica of the M800, the original Pelican one. So would I be able to swap the nibs? And the nib here is a Schmidt nib. So what I did is I unscrewed the Schmidt section. I remove the nib. It's just friction fit. As you could see, I just removed it off. Sorry, I went off camera because it was a little bit difficult for me to just maneuver in front of the camera. So I removed that Schmidt nib. Now, unfortunately, you won't be able to use the Pelican feed. You're going to be only able to use that Schmidt feed, but you remove the Schmidt nib, and we can go and get our Pelican pen nib, I should say. So this is our Pelican nib with that Schmidt feed. Here we go. And just push it in. You just have to line it up, make sure it goes in the right way. And all of a sudden I've got a Pelican nib. It doesn't protrude as much as it would have in a swap with the actual original feed, but it does the trick, folks. And then you can just screw that back in. And now I have an Admach M800 with a Pelican nib, which gives me, anyway, the sensation of owning an M800, the original, until I get one. So there you have it. That's a nib swap. What I'll do is I'll link up this, I will ink it up and show you how it writes. And I thought it would leak, and so far I had inked it for over a week, and no leakage anywhere. It writes really nicely. So there you have it. But I'll show that to you in a second. Let me just remove all this, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. We're going to do a writing sample of this swapped nib. While we're at it, I showed you this 2024 Fountain Pen Day Colorverse dedication. So I this pen up. I think it's should be a good combination, and we'll see how this pen writes. So this is the ADMOC M800 Blue Galaxy. But the nib is a Pelican 18 karat M800 broad nib. And the ink is Colorverse Fountain Pen Day exclusive. So there you have it. Smooth and juicy, by the way. It's a broad, so just an idea. You can get your hands on a Pelican nib. I know Giardino has a special on the M400 nib. I'm really thinking about buying the M400 Pelican nib and putting it on my ADMOC M400. Stay tuned. I'll let you know if it works. So there you have it. Naughty Vince has swapped an ADMOC and turned it into an M800. There you go. Now, the last part here is normally part 3 is going to be fountain pen reviews and fountain pen. No, I shouldn't say fountain pen. I should say YouTube reviews for our fountain pen community and what's out there and what's fun. Well, 2024 and December 2024 really spelled for most of us these awards, that we all share, top 10, top 5, top this, top that. And, I have my own awards. I have the top Chinese pen and pen maker of the year. Here's the thumbnail. I also had the top pen and pen maker, Indian pen and pen maker of the year. My third one was my top Italian pen and pen maker of the year. And I finished it off with the top 10 of the year. And you're welcome to see several other reviewers have kind of gone through the same exercise. I'm not going to rehash it, but that's the name of the game. But it's interesting to see how different reviewers deal with their own collection and what they prefer and what they not prefer. And they're all very subjective, obviously, and they're all based on whatever pens we have, and we can't have them all. But it's still very interesting, and it's good viewing. I hope you enjoyed that. I also did a retrospective of my year. I welcome you to view that, where I go over 2024. For me, 2024 was a fabulous, fabulous year in terms of fountain pen collecting and YouTube video and my channel and where we're going, etc. I'm hoping that 2025 will meet the challenge. But there you have it. We're starting it off. This is the first weekly recap, folks. We're going to get better and better and better. And hopefully, I think it's going to be an exciting year. I really do. I've got a bunch of pens and pen makers that I've never touched that I think I want to touch. I'm going to give Leonardo a second chance. I think they deserve a second chance, and I'll explain to you why when I order my first 2025 pen. Scribo is in the mix, folks. I've gotten in touch with them. I really would love to be able to visit their factory. And I was contacted by a new Italian pen maker through Nino Marino of Delta. And I think we're going to do a collaboration soon, so stay tuned for that. In any event, we've got a lot of exciting news. I think the Chinese pen market is going to flare up. I just sense it is. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just a feeling. Don't ask me why. I got a feeling it's going to be an exciting year. So enjoy, folks. Fountain Pen Therapy. Please subscribe if you have any questions or if you have any suggestions. Please let me know. Now's the time. We can add them to our weekly recap. We can have a section on questions that you may have. Why not? It's all there. I love it. I enjoy it. So stay tuned, folks. Ciao.